Hello, everyone, and welcome to our latest online event here at the University of California, Merced. My name is Ricky Hill. I am your e-recruiter. I am so excited to be here with you tonight. We are fully staffed behind the scenes with all of our content experts, so we are really thrilled to have you here. We want to get to your questions tonight live, and of course, tonight's topic is the School of Natural Sciences. So we have a jam-packed presentation for you, and we're thrilled once again to have you here. Before we get started, let me give you those couple of quick Zoom reminders. If you need to adjust your audio settings, you can do that in the lower left corner of your screen. If at any time you'd like to zoom into something that we're showing you, go ahead and click on View Options in the upper portion of your window. Lastly, and most importantly, as I said, you do have that Q&A button available on your screen. We would love to get to your questions live, so go ahead and click on that button at any time this evening. Send in your questions. We may be able to get to those behind the scenes during our presentation. However, we do have a special treat for you at the end where we will be getting to some of those questions live and on screen. We also have a student panel for you this evening. So I hope that you stay tuned for the entire hour presentation. Now, as always, we are also recording this event tonight, so within a couple of days, we will make sure that we make this available for you up on our YouTube channel at Life at UC Merced. And of course, that link is also available on the Admitted Student Events page. Now, make sure that you open up that chat box tonight because we will be sending you some important links this evening. One of them will be that events page. You've probably been there before. That's actually how you were able to get your Zoom link for this event this evening and any others that you've attended. That's also where you will be finding the link for this recording in just a couple of days. Now, also, while we are hanging out here for just a quick second, I actually have a poll that I would like to post for you. We would love to know where you're located this evening. So if you can take just a quick moment, drop a little answer in there for us. Where are you located? What city, what state? Where are you turning in from tonight? We love to know where our future Bobcats are hanging out with us. And once again, we're so thrilled that you are taking some time out of your evening and that you're choosing to spend that with us. Once again, our topic tonight is the School of Natural Sciences. My name is Ricky Hill, your e-recruiter. At this time, I'd like to hand things over to my friend Gordon.
Hi, my name is Gordon Bennett. I'm the Associate Dean of Academic Programs in the School of Natural Sciences. I know that's kind of a mouthful, but I think what's important that I can say is that I'm a professor here and an educator, and I conduct research with undergrads, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about our programs and what we can offer you. And I acknowledge that a lot of you are at a nexus point in your lives where you're about to make some really big decisions, both in the school you want to go to, the kinds of career opportunities you're interested in, and then also the types of things you want to study. My goal here, I think our goal here is to convince you that the School of Natural Sciences has everything you need and want and is a great choice for you and your future. Just to give you a little bit of an introduction to the kinds of opportunities we offer, we have almost a dozen majors. We're adding majors all the time, and we offer training in different degrees, such as applied mathematics, chemistry, biochemistry, environmental system sciences, biology, physics. These are some of the basic STEM disciplines that we have, but in each of these disciplines, we offer a range of foci or tracks, emphasis tracks that allow you to sort of specialize in different kinds of programs and outcomes that you might be interested in terms of your career, including computation, bioinformatics, biomedicine, all these other kinds of astrophysics and things of this nature. I'm happy to answer any specific questions you might have about our degrees, but we offer a ton of opportunity that we're constantly revising and thinking about how we can best serve our students. Next slide. The really cool part about being at the School of Natural Sciences is a lot of the folks that are teaching our classes are researchers themselves. And we recently reached an R1 status, which means we're one of the premier research universities in the country. And researchers who teach in our chemistry, biology, physics classes study everything from COVID therapeutics and antibiotic resistance to things like how we image the solar system and improve our resolution so we can ask really important questions about how the solar system is formed and how it's aging and where it's going. But we also have degrees and foci in our research on solving problems like climate change, adaptation, understanding fire and how we can adapt to that. And UC Merced is right in the middle of these important areas, both geophysically and then also intellectually. And we can offer these opportunities to our students so that they are on the cutting edge of research along with the faculty as they proceed through these really important questions and innovations, solving our society's biggest challenges. And I'll also note that we have the explicit distinguished faculty, such as the Director of Science from the Department of Energy and some of our programs at Asma Berhe, who works on climate change. So we have some real star power in our faculty here at UC Merced. Next slide. One thing that we really excel at here at the University of California, Merced is developing and pursuing centers of research that provide extraordinary opportunity for our undergrads. And these are competitively sought after programs such as the National Science Foundation, Insight, which I'm the co-director of. We provide research opportunities to over 20 undergraduates a semester. And some of those undergraduates are off now onto other programs, going to other schools and pursuing PhDs. We also offer structured undergrad research opportunities through UROC. We have CCBM CRESS, which provides research and training in the Center for Biomolecular Machines and Biomedicine. We offer training and advanced instruction in nanomaterials and energy and sensing. But then we also have programs such as the Health Science and UC Merced SNRI, which is our Sierra Nevada Research Center. So we're putting students out in the fields, such as places like Yosemite, and then also in the biomedical fields and health support here in the Central Valley. Next slide. I think one of the key things we really do offer our students is that they are engaged in our laboratories. You go to your classes, you learn some basic laboratory approaches, but then one thing that's very special about UC Merced is we have a lot of opportunity for our undergraduates. We're at a perfect size where if you're interested in research, there is opportunity for you. And in a range of different programs, whether it's going out and monitoring the effects of climate change on ecosystems, understanding how lasers can be used to develop nanomaterials or other sort of more resilient materials for future sustainability. Or if you're interested in things like I mentioned, antibiotic resistance or COVID or other kinds of biomedical research, we have research opportunity in each of these fields. But I want to also just remind you that I'm happy to answer questions in this regard for those of you who have specific interests or areas you like to develop and get involved in our research. And students in these research opportunities develop skills in computation. They're working in modeling, but they're also at the bench and pipetting and working with biologics. Next slide. Complementary to the kinds of research activities and then also the educational opportunities we provide our students, our campus is really good at developing communities for undergraduates. I'm just giving you a range of opportunity that undergraduates have organized with support of faculty. There's a number of clubs that help with academic preparation, but then also helping people find a community and identity in our programs, all the way from Compost Club, understanding composting for improving agriculture and food production and combating climate change, all the way to Astronomy Club and understanding how research influences our understanding of the cosmos and beyond. And then also we offer a range of pre-med and other kinds of biomedical career opportunities. And these are student-led and pretty much they're not competitive. Their communities are very welcoming and bring students in. If you're interested, you can find a community that can help support your career goals and also your identity on campus. Next slide. And finally, I want to mention something in particular. We're a very diverse campus and we have a number of undergraduates that coming from a lot of different places. They have a lot of different backgrounds. We offer a lot of community support for our students. We are here to help you fit in and then to succeed with your career goals and your education here at University of California, Merced. So whatever your identity is and however you think that you want to help to be integrated into our campus and to find a place and a home that's perfect for you, we have a lot of support for you. And I encourage you to take a look at some of our program web pages. You can explore some of these opportunities that exist and support resources for our students. And I'm going to trade this off in a second, but before we get there, I just want to explain really quickly that part of your success here is going to be through your interactions with your advisors. And I have to say that our school has some of the most amazing advisors on campus. They care very deeply about the students. They're very engaged with um, their learning and their outcomes. And I've had the real privilege of working with them. And I think they really make a big difference in the community experience that students have and also their success. And with that, I'm going to toss it over to Erica Robbins, who is one of our lead advisors and a very outstanding and stellar person.
Wow, I'm blushing. Thank you so much, Gordon. Hello, everyone. My name is Erica Robbins. I'm Director of Student Services in the School of Natural Sciences. So I oversee the Academic Advising Program and the Excel program, which I'm going to talk about here in just a moment. But I'm also the academic advisor for all of our transfer students. So if there are any transfer students out there tonight, and you come to UC Merced, I would be your academic advisor, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have about what that transfer experience looks like. So the School of Natural Sciences offers multiple programs to support students in their learning. So the first one up is academic advising. So we are with you from the second year through graduation. So first year students, you're going to be advised by the Bobcat Advising Center. And so they will get you started on those basic science classes and get you set up for success in that first year. And then you get handed to us in the second year, and we'll be with you till the end, till you walk across that stage at graduation and commencement. So we will work with you to identify your goals, make sure that you're in the right major. Maybe you need to change your emphasis. Like Gordon mentioned, you have that opportunity to customize your degree program within the emphasis tracks and available in your major. So we want to make sure that you're in the right program that's going to set you up for success for whatever your educational goals or career goals, whatever they might be. We want to help you choose courses and make sure that you're satisfying all those degree requirements. We want to make sure that you graduate on time and make sure that also if you're facing difficulties that's impacting your education, we want to know about it so that we can best provide support and assistance. There's a lot of tools in our toolbox. We just need to know if there's something impacting or interfering with your education, we want to know about it so that we can help and support. Another program that's unique to our school is the Excel program. So this is academic coaching, and so their primary focus is helping students in academic difficulty. So whether a student ends up on poor academic standing, or if you just find that the transition from high school to college, community college to college, or your courses are a little bit more challenging than you expected, the Excel program and their academic coaches are available to support you. And this is unique to the School of the Natural Sciences, so that's something we like to brag about, and it's available to all of our students. And then finally, the STEM Center is the tutoring hub for STEM courses at UC Merced. So they provide an array of tutoring for primarily the lower division science classes, but also the center is staffed by advanced upper division students who have taken those classes and earned A's, and then even graduate students are hanging out in there and they just want to help. So you can just pop in there during the designated times and get support in your classes. It's also a learning community to enhance academic and social experiences for UC Merced undergraduates pursuing degrees in science, technology, engineering, and math. So beyond the peer tutoring, they also assist with finding research opportunities on campus or at another campus. If you wanted to do a summer research opportunity, they help identify those and help you apply. And then internship opportunities. And then finally, building lifelong skills needed for advancement in leadership and STEM careers. Next slide, please. Some other unique learning opportunities we have are our themed living learning communities, and you can read more about these out on the housing website, and so we've got the link there for you. So they are academically focused. You're going to be able to explore career fields. There's a designated course. In USTU, we call it USTU for short. And then there's also additional tutors available. So you could check out those themed houses. So there are Aristotle House, which focuses on leadership, education, and service. Beyond the MD, so biomedical sciences and health professions. And then finally, Carson House, focusing on sustainable futures. The other unique program in our school is the CalTeach program. So CalTeach is specifically designed to address the shortage of science and math teachers in California's elementary, middle, and secondary schools, but with a specific focus on our area in the Central Valley of California. So the program recruits and prepares math and science majors for teaching by providing special coursework and field experiences in our local K through 12 schools. And then it also provides a direct pathway to a teaching credential in California. So there are two different minors available. So natural sciences education minor, which is available to all students regardless of major, and then natural sciences education with credential. That particular minor is only available to STEM majors, but it's our partnership program with UC Berkeley. And so when you graduate and you complete this program, you'll have your bachelor's degree and a teaching credential. Your bachelor's degree is from UC Merced, but your teaching credential is from UC Berkeley. So you spend one semester at UC Berkeley to finish up those required courses, and then once you graduate, you are ready to roll into a classroom. So that is a really exciting opportunity, and it is unique to our school. Next slide, please. So I'm going to hand it over to Robert here in just a moment, but I do want to do a quick shout out. No matter what your pathway is, we have opportunities and support services to help get you there. So the timeline for various careers, it does vary. So health professions, it could take 2 to 4 years after you've graduated. A master's degree, it could be 2 years. Law or business, 2 to 4. If you want to go into academia with a PhD, become a researcher or professor, that's another 4+ years again. It just depends. But you can get to all of these places with a degree from UC Merced in the School of Natural Sciences. Next slide. So I know a lot of you out there are interested in health careers, and that is fantastic. We want you to be excited to come to UC Merced and prepare for that next step in health professions. We do want to do a quick plug for the upcoming pre-health webinar coming up on March 27th. Our colleagues from the Department of Medical Education will be presenting, and that is where you're going to be able to get lots more specific information about what that preparation for health careers looks like at UC Merced. Most of the classes, no, almost all the classes are going to be in our school, in the School of Natural Sciences. So the bio, the chemistry, math, physics, they're here. They're available to you. But to learn more about how our campus supports students intending health professions and what that looks like, please do attend that webinar. And the link is right there on the slide deck, but it was also on the events page as well. And now I'm going to pass it over to Robert.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Rob Goodman. I'm the Natural Sciences Career Specialist here at UC Merced, out of our Student Career Center. It's part of the Office of Leadership, Service, and Career. Really proud of you being here today. Welcome to our community, and welcome to being part of this process of being the next great scientist, the next great leader, the next great policymaker. And I want to just let you know you're coming to a place that is very welcoming, and here to be partners in your career journey. And so here at the Student Career Center, we do a lot of the common items that you've come to expect. We do the resume reviews, we do the mock interview. Maybe you're trying to figure out what options are there in your major. We sort of dissect what's out there for you, and give you a good plan going forward to help make you competitive for your next step. Whether that's going off to grad school, whether that's going off to maybe a professional school like medical school or law school, or if you want a career or internship, we are your one-stop shop to sort of get started on that process. We also offer a lot of ideas for internships and experiential learning here on campus and off campus. So if you're interested in an internship or an externship, if you're interested in possibly going out and doing service learning, or volunteering or doing community engagement, we are sort of that place you can go and begin that journey and look at a variety of different options. We offer a number of different micro internships and a number of different other experiential learning opportunities to get you active and experiences so that you can go out and compete. You also have a devoted natural sciences career specialist here in the office. That's me. And I do see us as partners working together. You might have specific goals in and I'd love to hear your story. I'd love to hear where you want to go, and see how we can help get you to those goals, and live out that dream. We do a lot of awesome events here on campus as well. We do on-campus employer network events. We do career fairs. We actually just had one today with about 73 companies. We do on-campus interviews with companies. So companies will come to UC Merced and actually interview you for live positions here on campus. And much, much more. So this is a great thought to start up your journey. I usually tell students that you should say hello to me as soon as you arrive here on campus. And actually, I believe that over the summer, you do have access to our services. So I look forward to meeting you, hearing your story, where you want to go, and really helping develop you to be that next great scientist or professional. Next slide, please. So, what we do in the Career Center is really drive tomorrow's workforce, and really try to help shoot for the stars. Um, Here's just a sample of where you might be able to go with a degree in natural sciences, number of different areas. I have a lot of great stories. And I would love to see some questions in chat. I've been seeing those questions in chat. It reminds me of a lot of students that have gone on to great careers. The passion for research, the passion to go out there and be a leader in that research field reminds me of a lot of our students that go on to great things, such as working at Genentech, or working at Pfizer, or working at Merck, or going off and working at IBM, or working at Apple, and doing a lot of great work in those areas. So here's just a sample of what you can do on our campus. And wanted to explore a little bit, but if you have questions about these fields out here, I would love to take them and answer them in chat as they come in. And so feel free to start shooting in some questions. I would love to answer them. But we have a lot of great students working on some really revolutionary concepts out there. We have students working on grape grafting with the USDA to develop the next great produce, the next great grape that's disease resistant, that's drought resistant, in a world that's changing rapidly. We have individuals working in CRISPR and designing great cancer treatments, and vaccines for those cancer treatments that can really help revolutionize a disease that's been plaguing us for thousands of years. We have conservationists working in our backyard, working on a number of different endangered species, trying to protect their habitat, trying to protect their ecological environment. And you actually see a picture of one of those endangered species, our wonderful fairy shrimp, right in our backyard, that our students can actually go in and work on and help. And we need your help because these are some of the challenges that we face, that you can actually take on head on. Next slide, please. So part of that is becoming leadership ready. I mentioned a couple of those challenges, right? You might be seeing a world that increasingly needs more food supply, might see climate impacts, might see issues around disease and pandemics. And there's a lot of interesting 21st century challenges that need your help. And we recognize that here at UC Merced. And we actually have a leadership office for students that you can actually go in and partake in a number of different certifications to get you leadership ready. We have a Bobcat leadership program, a 6-week intensive leadership theory program to introduce you to leadership, and engagement in leadership. We have the Yosemite Leadership Program, which is a 2-year program that takes you out to Yosemite National Park and Sequoia National Park, and really focusing in on environmental impact, stewardship, and making sure that you can go out there and make an impact within one of California's most recognizable landmarks. And making sure that you can go out there and fine tune those policy making abilities to really help our region. We have Lawrence Livermore National Laboratories Summer Data Science Challenge. So you might have heard about this whole AI revolution. You might have heard about how data is increasingly important in driving that AI revolution. And here at UC Merced, we are part of that revolution as well. We are active partners in Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory, where they actually take on UC Merced as a college for the data science challenge, trying to use AI data science to solve interesting challenges in society, such as last year working on trying to prevent the next great pandemic. You can go out and be part of our Student Leadership Conference, which is a one-day event where we bring in leadership experts to help fine-tune your leadership abilities. I always say that leadership is going to be an important attribute for the career world in the future, and having that attribute is going to help you succeed. And if you're interested in policy making, if you're interested in making an impact, UC Merced is also part of the UC program, where you can have an internship over the summer, or actually anytime during the year, and help craft policy changes, help craft those that next generation of ideas to make an impact on some of those challenges by working with our politicians in Washington, by giving ideas on policy, by working within the CDC and working with level 4 types of pathogens that can help change the world. Many of our students have engaged in that in internships in Washington to help do that. Next slide, please. But also, want to make sure that we bring it back home here to our region as well. And a part of coming to UC Merced is about empowering and advancing our shared community. There's a lot of great service opportunities here at UC Merced. There's a lot of awesome opportunities to go around and be part of Yosemite beautification or working directly with our city and county government on policies here in the region. You often see the mayor here on our campus. He's very approachable. As our chancellor always says, he's a people's mayor. And so you'll get to know him very, very well. We offer here student-sponsored tours of pharmaceutical companies, of food and beverage manufacturers, which the Central Valley is famous for, of chemical companies, and much, much more, so that you can gain access and see what a workplace environment for your specific major really entails. We have city and county externship and internship programs here in the city of Merced and the county of Merced, as well as our neighbors, including Stanislaus County and Fresno, where you can actually actively engage at the county and city level for a number of different positions, including parks and recreation, public works, and other areas behind the scenes, so that you can start getting experience of working in that public sector space, if that is what you want. We have long-term service projects with, including our College Core program, which was founded here at UC Merced. We are the leaders on that College Core program that's now a statewide initiative. As part of that program, if you can volunteer 2,000 hours within the program, you'll actually get a $10,000 stipend to spend based off of giving up time during your college career to go out there and make an impact with some of our nonprofits within our underserved communities here within our region. And so what we really try to do is create a UC Merced army of impact so that you can go out there, do ecological cleanup, combat invasive species, craft policies, work with our local officials so that you can go out there, be a leader, and make an impact and a difference so that you can make changes to the mid-21st century. Next slide, please. So you're probably wondering who hires UC Merced students, and I put a couple out there. This is definitely not this is a tiny fraction of who hires UC Merced, but I thought I'd put some out there that you may know. And we have a lot of students working for the pharmaceutical sector. They're making discoveries on how to make medicines on some of our diseases out there, including COVID, but there's other areas as well, such as antibiotic resistance, such as trying to develop cures for for skin cancer or doing regenerative medicine. A lot of our students are working in those labs doing that with some of those pharmaceutical companies. A lot of our students are making some of the great products that you see in grocery store, designing and developing safe products that you can consume, new products that you can consume, such as in the wine industry, such as in wonderful brands. And a lot of them are actually actively engaged in making new scientific and chemical discoveries within that area. We have our students or alumni trying to get us to Mars, trying to get us to the moon, trying to develop materials for spaceships to actually go out there. And we also have students out there trying to actually protect our environment and making sure that our environment is safe for the next generation of students and beyond. And so this is just a sampling. We have quite a few students throughout the nation doing some great work, developing groundbreaking discoveries, being that powerful scientist. And it all started with questions right here today. Next slide, please. So you might be wondering some stats. I threw some stats out there that might be of interest. 91% of UC Merced natural science students are either employed or in graduate studies 1 year post-graduation. There are a couple of students, either they're working or they might be unemployed because they're taking a gap year, preparing for that next generation or that next step for graduate studies. I know quite a few pre-med students usually do that on a national level. That's very common. 88% of natural science UC Merced alumni are actively using their degrees within their workplace, meaning that they're actively using a lot of the lab skills that we've built in, a lot of the technical skills, such as using Python and machine learning, and actively using those in a job setting. It should be noted that a lot of our students here on campus are very active on campus itself. In fact, 80% of our student population are either in a student organization or a professional academic organization in natural sciences. 80%. So there's a community here of support for you when you arrive. In fact, when you come see me day one, and I hope you do come see me day one while you're here at UC Merced, that's actually the first items that I actually want you to do is go out and find a club, find a community, find a support group, find those friends, and I know you will do it because I've seen thousands upon thousands of students come to UC Merced and do such a thing. About half of natural sciences, by the way, also participates in community engagement, getting that leadership skill, getting that leadership ability so that they can go out there and be pioneers in that area and build a bridge to the mid 21st century to solve some of those problems that you are seeing out there. You may look out there into the world and say, how can I make an impact? How can I leave my fingerprint on this planet? How can I go out there and be an innovator and a driver for the 21st century? And coming to UC Merced is that start, is your beginning, is your next step. And with that, I believe we have a wonderful student panelists awaiting for us.
We certainly do. Thank you so much to all of our presenters thus far. And yes, let's go ahead and invite on our two student panels that we have this evening. What we'd like to do is go ahead and start off with a little bio or introduction. And Lena, I'll let you start. You can give us some background information, what year you are here at UC Merced, your major, and maybe a couple of clubs that you've been involved in.
Yeah, of course. So, hi everyone. I'm Lena Sanchez. I'm a fourth year molecular and cell biology major. A couple of things I'm involved in are I'm currently a stem cell research fellow through our 2-SKIP program. I am also president for the American Society for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. And lastly, I'm also president for Primetime at UC Merced.
Very good. Thank you so much. I'd like to invite on our next student panelist.
Hi, my name is Gia. I'm a second year human bio major. I come from Tracy, California, and a couple things I'm involved with on campus is the Muslim Student Association, the Middle Eastern and North African Club, along with Diversified Doctors and the Astronomy Club.
Very good. You both are so busy. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We always love to have our student panelists on because who could possibly be the better fit to share with our prospective Bobcat audience tonight than students who are actually current Bobcats. Some of you in the earlier stages, some of you about to graduate. So let's go ahead and just dive into I think one of the most important questions is why did you choose UC Merced for your educational adventure?
Yeah, so I forgot to mention, but I'm from Turlock, which is like 45 minutes from Merced. So I was born and raised here in the Central Valley. Um, I feel like I wasn't really exposed to um, healthcare or careers in biology. So I felt like I needed to kind of grow and explore that more. And I decided to attend UC Merced because of the research opportunities that will allow me to explore that. But not only that, also the student to faculty ratio. I've been able to really keep a good network of mentors and professors who have really helped me a lot through the 4 years that I've been here.
I chose UC Merced because it is one of the newer schools, and I like that it has a small student population. I personally went to a really small high school, and I had liked that everyone got to know each other on a more intimate level. And I felt the same when I came to UC Merced. I didn't feel small. I felt like there was always someone that I can go and talk to. Along with that, I've been pre-medicine since as long as I knew what pre-medicine was. And I was afraid that if I went to a bigger school, I would get like imposter syndrome. But being at UC Merced, there's always someone that I can go and talk to. Like my advisor gets back to me within the first 2 hours that I send an email to her. Along with that, a lot of the upperclassmen have been super welcoming, especially my first year. I had two upperclassmen friends that had gotten into med schools, and they were like willing to answer any and all questions that I had, which was really nice.
Wonderful. Thank you both so much. So our next question for the student panel, we have so many amazing resources, clubs and organizations, and just opportunities on our campus, internships, research opportunities. So I'd love for both of you to kind of share a couple of those things that stand out during your time here so far at UC Merced, either your favorite resource that's been the most helpful or an internship research, any of those things would be a great thing to talk about tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I guess I can speak on both sides of that. So I mentioned earlier I was president for the American Society for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology Club. It is a nationally recognized society, so there's different chapters all over the country. And this has really served as a resource for students to get to explore different careers in biology, and that's kind of our mission is to showcase careers in research, academia, all those things. And then for me, the biggest resource I have used on campus was probably the tutoring centers. It's a drastic change to go from how you study in high school to how you study in college. You kind of have to adapt and change your study habits depending on the student. But typically, I would go to the STEM tutoring hub, and they've always been super helpful with the questions I've had regarding classes.
I think for me, it has really been Handshake. Since before I got here, I have been an avid user of Handshake. It's this app or like website that you can go ahead and look for internships or employment opportunities on campus and in the area. Along with that, I have received an email from Robert Goodman actually, and it was for a medical scribe certification, and I'm currently in that class, and that'll help me get my clinical hours that I need for med school. Another thing that I've used that a lot of people on campus also use is the Basic Needs Center. I had rented professional clothing for an interview I had, and they had directed me to this headshot thing that we have in the commuters lounge, and I used it for an interview that I had last week, and I love that. I love that we have that on campus.
Fantastic. And you said just last week, so good luck with that. That's exciting news to share with everyone. And would you, if you wouldn't mind if we stay with you for this one, you did mention Handshake. So the next question I wanted to talk to you both about has to do with the work-life balance, social life balance, being a student. And of course, Handshake has to do with getting campus jobs. So it feels like that's a good transition for us, if you don't mind.
Yeah, Handshake, I was directed to it when I went to the Students First Center here. They had helped me get on and start my account, and it's been a good tool that I utilize. It's quite simple. You upload your resume and you can apply for internships or jobs. And I think between like the student life and the work-life balance, most like employment places on campus are very respectful of the fact that you are a student. You're not allowed to work more than 18 hours, and the managers are very understanding. If I send them a message and I'm like, oh, I have an exam, can I get these days off so I can study and prepare for it? They will most likely give it to you, if not definitely. And they are very mindful of the fact that you do have to take classes as well. Along for social life, on campus, we do have a lot of clubs and organizations, along with events that do happen in the common places. So I think it's nice. Like I'll be walking back from the dining hall and I'll see that there's a little concert happening. So I'll stop by and do that. And that's what I like about UC Merced.
Thank you so much, Lena. Same question for you. How do you manage the balance between education, your classes, social life, getting ready to graduate, and everything beyond that?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like when you're passionate about something and you know what you're doing has an impact on other people, I feel like that makes it easier to be able to manage everything. Everything I'm involved in, I really genuinely have ties to and I am passionate about. My job, I get to speak to students about my experience in college. My organization, I get to, help and guide other students through this process of figuring out what to do after graduation. And even my courses, I really enjoy the opportunity to be able to study what I desire and what interests me. And I feel like just being able to appreciate the opportunities that I get here at UC Merced, I've been able to balance it. As far as handshake, I have to agree with Ajiha on that. I have found many career fairs through there as well, so definitely a really good resource once you become a student.
Wonderful. Thank you both so much. So the last question that we will toss out to our student panel here tonight, what advice might you have from your experience at UC Merced, maybe something that you thought of before when you were in this place, still deciding where to go, but also now all of your time that you've spent here? What advice would you like to give to our prospective and our newly admitted incoming Bobcats?
Yeah, I feel like I've done a lot of reflecting now that I'm about to graduate in a couple months. So if I had one piece of advice, I would really tell you all to just take this opportunity to fail, learn, grow, all those kinds of things. I feel like everyone has potential, and at the end of the day, it's how much effort you decide to put in and the opportunities you decide to take, whether it be here at UC Merced or another college. I feel like I've been able to really utilize those resources and really put in the effort. And I am happy where I'm going and where am right now. And that's my piece of advice to you all is just really take advantage of those opportunities and find that thing that you're passionate about, and it'll make it 10 times easier.
My advice is that you're right where you need to be. I think starting college is a very big step and you're starting a new chapter in your life. So don't feel like you have to have everything figured out right now. I think UC Merced especially has a lot of opportunities. It has a lot of help. So even if you fall and fail, there will be someone that can help you catch up or help break that fall and show you what you need to do to help like get back on your feet. So I'd say take everything with time and give yourself grace. The next 4 years are definitely going to be rememberable.
Wonderful advice you both share. And of course, your fantastic and one and only version of your insight here is being current Bobcats with everything that you've done here. So thank you both so much for joining us tonight. I hope that our audience this evening was able to kind of garner some information and some insight from both of you from that perspective that only you can offer. And absolutely, I agree with both of you. Your college years is a once in a lifetime opportunity. So definitely make the most of it. And at this point, we'd like to go ahead and jump back into our presentation. We actually are going to start answering some questions now that are coming in from our audience. So let's go ahead and open it up. In fact, if you all haven't yet sent in a question or something maybe just recently came to mind, this would be a great time to go ahead and click on that Q&A button and get those questions rolling in. So I'm going to go ahead and invite our other panelists back on with us here. And let's see our first question. What is the normal size for general education courses?
You can answer
I can
that
answer.
one. Oh,
Sure. Go ahead, Erica.
sorry. So it does vary depending on the course. So the writing courses are really small, so 20 students. Then there's larger lectures that maybe would be at the most 300, and that's like the intro psych, intro bio. But then you have those smaller discussion sections that you also have to attend, especially in the science classes, that are smaller. So again, 24 to 30 to 40, and then labs are going to be small, 20 to 24.
I'll just offer a little more detail on that. We also offer a range of, we call them GE Sparks classes, and a lot of these are very small, and students engage in them in their very first semester to generate a community around various topics, and there's a lot you can select from. Some of our larger classes like bio, we've actually done a lot of pedagogical innovation. What that means really is we're trying to find ways to make it seem smaller and more effective, and students learn better and generate a sense of community in those classes. And what we've done in a big class like bio, which might have 200 students in the lecture portion, we use what's called learning assistants. And these are actually senior undergraduates, students that have been through the bio program. They come to the lectures, they're there every day. We break up the lectures into small groups, and they get this peer-to-peer interaction with students who know the program, they know the content, and they help bring that sort of large class dynamic down to a more smaller community-based kind of learning experience for our students. So even if a class is big, we're doing a lot of educational innovation to make it seem small and to improve the learning environment for our students.
Wonderful. Thank you both so much. So our next question coming in, how can students best prepare themselves to engage in research opportunities early in their academic careers?
That is a great question. And the short answer, I think, is just go for it. I think if you're in a class and you're really excited about what you're learning about, go talk to the faculty. Our faculty, or the teachers who are doing research, are open and are really enthusiastic and keen to have undergraduates work in their labs, because undergraduates are really a sort of engine of innovation in our labs, and they bring a lot of new dynamic and new areas of research. So just go for it. I know that can sound intimidating, but our faculty are really interested in working with undergraduates, and there's a ton of opportunity out there. And if that faculty doesn't have an undergrad opportunity, they'll point you down the hall and you'll find something related that you would be interested in. And with that, engage early. Don't wait until your senior year. Folks want to work with our first year students. They want to get them involved. They want to have the opportunity to work with you over maybe a year, maybe 2 years, maybe even 3 years, because that way you'll get a full training and you'll be able to conduct research that has a real shot at getting published and actually going out there and living in the sort of academic world beyond just what your experience is.
Fantastic. So does the School of Natural Sciences have their own teachers compared to general education teachers, or does everyone teach both?
We have our own teachers. We contribute to general education, but things like writing, there's a writing program with dedicated educators that are trained in those degrees and those dimensions. A lot of our programs have general education where you go out to other departments and programs to take classes. So yes, we teach you, say, in physics or biology, but your degree actually is very interdisciplinary. You'll take chemistry classes, you'll take physics classes, you'll take biology classes. We teach each other's students, but then you'll also go to some other schools to maybe take, if you're interested in engineering, there might be some opportunity for you. If you're interested in psychology or public health, you might go to our social sciences and humanities school to take classes. That's all part of the planning, and we're very intentional about what we ask our students to do to sort of give them that breadth of training, and then also to open up career opportunities for you and to give you experiences so you can make better informed decisions about the kinds of careers you want to have.
And then is there a difference between environmental science and environmental systems science?
Yes, environmental science is a graduate program, and environmental system sciences is our undergraduate version. The faculty who teach in the graduate program also teach in the undergraduate program. There's a lot of connection between our PhD programs. The same researchers and faculty teaching in the graduate programs also teach in the undergrad programs. And you'll actually interact with a lot of our PhD students because they participate in a lot of our education. And they also do a lot of mentorship of students in their research.
Very good. And then do we also have research opportunities in topics such as cognitive science or neuroscience?
We do. There's a cognitive science. There's a cognitive science program in our School of Science, humanities, social sciences and humanities. That's not SNS, but there's a lot of connection. We share research crosses across schools. There's a lot of collaboration. Even if you're working in SNS, you might find yourself doing research in a different school or program, and that's great. That's cool. That's encouraged. There's a lot of interdisciplinary collaboration that goes on across different labs and schools and programs. So yeah, there's definitely opportunity in that. And then just to tell a little anecdote, I actually have a graduate student who worked in a neuroscience lab here at UC Merced, got really interested in it, went to Fresno State, got a master's, and came back to work in my lab on some related topics. So yes, there's a lot of opportunity like that.
Great. And then do we have nonprofits that we are partnered with?
Yes, a lot. And it's really hard for me to go through the sort of roll call of all the nonprofits. Some of my colleagues work with a number of different nonprofits in the Central Valley. They also work with indigenous tribes and land managers to sort of look at sustainability and agriculture, ecosystem management, conservation. In my own lab, we work with the Nature Conservancy quite heavily and different in California and other places where we're working on biodiversity conservation. But we also, some of my colleagues in this sort of institute I'm running are working with, we work with Resilient Oceans and Reef Network to think about sort of marine system sustainability and conservation. So yes, lots, but they're kind of cultivated by individual faculty in their sort of range of the research that they do.
Very good. And then can we speak a little bit about typical courses that are taken in a first year and how registration will be done for the first year students?
I can definitely talk about that. So, first semester courses for our majors vary depending on the major, but all of them will take a math class. Everybody takes math in that first semester, along with a writing or the Spark seminar that Gordon mentioned earlier, and then typically a class in the major. So, if you're a bio major, you'll take Bio 11. If you're a chemistry student, you're going to take a chem course. If you're physics, you're hopefully going to take physics. Data science will take data science. ESS will take an ESS course. And so you'll get into major courses right away. But like what's been mentioned earlier is our programs are very interdisciplinary. And so the biology program, most bio students are going to take chemistry in that first semester along with math and bio and your writing course. Math, you might take physics as well. And so we really want to kind of mix in those GE courses. So maybe a psych course. There'll be opportunities for you to kind of blend in your schedule based on your interest. So what's new this year, and so if you have friends or siblings that have come to UC Merced, this is not going to be what they experience. It's brand new for this year. So for students who submit their statement of intent and sign up for orientation by the deadline, we are going to register for you. So the guesswork is going to be taken out. Registration is very complicated, and my daughter just started college and she was very overwhelmed with all of the numbers. Like, you get to choose when you go, and it's very overwhelming that first time. So we're going to help you out. So we're going to get you into a set number of courses that you're going to need anyway for your major, and then there'll be an opportunity where you can pick a course, or if you need to change a time, you'll have that opportunity later on in June. So my plug to everyone tonight, if you do, submit that SIR, that statement of intent to register, and then make sure you sign up for orientation by the priority deadline, which I'm sorry, I can't recall right now. It is early June, but make sure you do that early orientation sign up, and then you'll get registered in advance. And we'll send you all the information so you know exactly what you've been put into and how to get assistance if you do need to make adjustments.
Perfect. So I will toss out one more question, then we'll start closing out with some last words of advice. So this question is, what kind of jobs do biological science majors, cell biology students get aside from going into medical school?
All right, I can answer that question. A lot of our great students, a lot of them go off to PhDs to become scientists themselves. So there's the medical school doctorate, but there's also a research doctorate. I always say there's doctors that administer cures, and there's doctors that actually create those cures, right? And funny enough, if you go off to a PhD program, this isn't true all the time, but it certainly is true quite a bit. In STEM disciplines, if you go off and get a PhD, a lot of those are fully covered PhD programs, meaning that they're fully paid for. And so if you want to go and become that leading scientist that I spoke of, really going out, looking and seeing a lot of the problems that we face and really finding solutions to those problems, that's a great way to go. And also be fully funded to actually, do that PhD program. At the bachelor's level, quite of our students actually go out and do research associate work, working under scientists within labs, within national laboratories, working on a lot of those cures, running data analysis within those laboratories, using their skills that they have here at UC Merced and are developed over 4 years here at UC Merced, so that you can go out and succeed. So spectrometry skills, PCR skills, going out there and using those biology laboratory abilities to make an impact within those pharmaceutical and biotech laboratory areas. A lot of our students go off and do that. A lot of our students go off and become environmental health and safety experts, making sure that the work environments that we live or manufacturing lines that are producing goods and services are safe for the consumer, are safe for workers. A very important role that sort of helps secure our safety when it comes to our workplace or our food that we ingest or beverages that we ingest. A lot of our students will go off into policy as well. They'll work for city government, they'll work for state government, they'll go out and they will sample a lot of the water and air that we use to make sure that the air is great, that the water is great. They run those reports and make suggestions for city government and county government and do a great job doing that as well. Using those laboratory techniques and laboratory skill sets to really help our region, help our state, help our nation. And so a lot of our students are out there doing that great work as well. There's tens of thousands of positions out there that you can actually do with a biology degree. A lot of different options. I would say that the health aspect of that pie in biological sciences, very small compared to what you can do. You have to think also that you're an ecological expert. You can go into animal science, zoology, entomology, lead this ag tech revolution that's happening right now, and be a part of it, the next great industry, and really figure out the ecology that goes into a lot of our food processes that we have here. And so a lot of our students are actually working in that area on animal science, on plant science, and making sure we're safeguarding our ecological environment, the human habitat in which we all live in as well. So a lot of different jobs that you can do and a lot of great jobs that UC Merced Bobcats are currently engaged in.
Thank you so much, Robert. And now this is our final opportunity. If you all have any last words of advice that you'd like to mention.
I'll just mention real quick. Thanks for that, Robert. One of my favorite stories and one of the things I'm most proud of is being a faculty here is I had a student in my evolution class who's pre-med. She started out her career during COVID, had no laboratory experience. She came and just said she wanted a new opportunity. She wanted to explore something. She wanted some laboratory experience. And I was like, that's all I need. Great, come join my lab. And now this year, she just started a PhD program at Rutgers looking at how microbes influence animal behavior and health. So I think be open, explore, engage, drive your experience. There's a ton of opportunity here. Maybe so much that it'll be hard to pick, but I think it will transform your life. And I think there's a lot of people here who are willing and eager to help you find your path.
Thank you so much, Gordon. Erica, did you have any final words you'd like to mention tonight?
My main one is more for just housekeeping. keep checking your email, please. As an academic advisor, we send a lot, I know, but especially during the application process while you're deciding, and once you do submit that, sir, please keep checking your email. We send you a lot of information, I know, but some of it is you need to take action on it. So, but also continue like making decisions, looking at the different schools and programs where you've been accepted, and find your place where you feel most comfortable. And I hope it's UC Merced.
Absolutely. Now, Robert, I know you answered our last question, but I want to give you a chance. Did you have any last words?
I'm just excited that you're beginning this journey. I've seen so many students over the last dozen years here at UC Merced go through this journey, have those goals, find success. I'm looking at a lot of your questions that you're putting in the chat, and you're on the right track. And you belong at this university. I feel that you could be a great asset to this community here. And look forward to meeting you in fall semester or over the summer, because I want to hear your story. I want to hear where you want to go. I want to hear where your goals are, what your dreams are. And let's try to make you as competitive as possible so that you can go out and achieve those dreams.
Absolutely. I could not have said any of that better than the three of you. So thank you so much. And a big thank you to our student panelists tonight as well. And of course, everyone behind the scenes that's been getting to those questions and chatting back to everyone. And of course, I always like to say the biggest thank you of all is to everyone who has taken some time out of their night to join us here this evening. We all love what we do, but we would not be here if it wasn't for our Bobcats. So thank you all so much for joining us. I do have just a couple of quick things to mention before we let you go. Make sure that you open that chat box. We have been sending you a ton of links this evening, so make sure you start clicking on those before we do close out. A couple that I will bring your attention to happens to be the admitted student event site. Now that link is in the chat. That is the place where you signed up for this particular event, so I'm sure you've been there before. However, we have all of our in-person events, the replays for all of these webinars, as well as other virtual events that are coming up. And the biggest one of all, our biggest event of the spring, is Bobcat Day. And we are bringing that to you on Saturday, April the 19th. So make sure that you mark your calendars. We have so much going on that day. I couldn't possibly list it here at the end of this event, but a couple of those will be that you'll get to meet faculty, current Bobcats. We have several hundred tabling events for clubs and organizations. You can go into presentations to learn about different majors and programs that we have here from all of our schools. Plus, you get to meet all of us. So you'll get to have that firsthand experience meeting Bobcats, getting the family feel that we only have here at UC Merced. So we are looking forward to that day with thousands of our friends coming. So hopefully you will be there, get yourself signed up. Or indeed, we also have some of our roadshow events coming up. They are regional receptions where we will be coming to an area near you. All of that can be found on the admitted event website. So take a peek there, bookmark that page, and get yourself signed up. My name is Ricky Hill, and I am your e-recruiter. I am so excited that you spent tonight with us, but we have many more events coming up. So I look forward to meeting you again, either here virtually or in person. Thank you all so much for joining us, and have a fantastic night.